Welcome to the ANY Radio Show. I'm your host, Kenny ANY Moore. If this is your first time viewing the show, let me tell you a little bit about it. The ANY Radio Show is the place and platform for independent creatives. We highlight and spotlight the work of independent creative people in all genres. We play their music and interview them to talk about their work. So now that you know what the show's about, let's get started. This episode is the director's episode. My guest has a new short film that's coming out, and she's going to join me to talk about it. So let me introduce her. My guest is JC Marie. She's a filmmaker that makes spiritually driven short films. Her new film, Year 33, is about to come out, and now she joins me to talk about it. So let's bring her in. JC, welcome to the show. Thanks for being on. How you doing?
Good. Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for taking the time and being on with me. So let's get right into it. So, I was reading your bio, and it was saying about how you've been in medicine, in the medical field for the past 10 years, and now you're a filmmaker. How in the world did that happen? And talk about that transition.
Oh my goodness. I've been in healthcare about 10 years. I was an EMT for 5, and currently I'm a surgical technologist, and I've been doing that for 5 years. And I grew up in church all my life, and it wasn't until about 2017 where I was able to gain more spiritual insight. And the type of films that I am going to do is Afro surrealism type films, whereas, it's spiritually driven, but it's pointing to things that are happening right now. And so how I got to that was just really oppression, a lot of oppression within healthcare, a lot of oppression in church. And it really, Year 33 really symbolizes what I've seen since I've been here on this earth, the Lord's walk. Before he was crucified. And every American, not just, every person, human being has made a sacrifice. But in particular, I can only speak for me as a Black woman and as a woman. And that's what Year 33 really birthed Year 33. A lot of pain, a lot of anguish, a lot of frustration, a lot of doubting God and doubting my faith. Really helped birth this project. And how I did it, I actually did storyboards instead of writing a script. I actually did the storyboards and then shot the film. We shot the film in Greenbelt, Maryland, and also Ellicott City, Maryland. And it was really eerie, as you know about, the history of Maryland and different areas, of course, of the U.S., but being out in those woods, it was very eerie. It was very eerie, but I knew in my spirit that it was something that needed to be done.
Okay. Kind of break down the whole Afro surrealism for someone that's not familiar with it. Kind of talk about more in detail, like what that's about.
I can be perfectly honest with you. I was on YouTube the other week, and a video came up about the show Atlanta. And so I clicked on it, and it really just touched on the aspect of how the African-American soul feels. And it's really almost like the unconscious creativity that comes out that really screams out in the work, like the movie Get Out, different point of views. It's an unconscious point of view almost. But I've never heard of the word until this week. And the light bulb went off like, wow, this is what type of genre Year 33 is. Even though it's my films are faith-based, Christian-based, because that is my faith and that is what I believe, and I stand on that. Still, when it comes to the worldly view of the genre, that's where it lies.
Okay. So, as you were preparing to get into the the art, into the craft of filmmaking, who were some of the people that you studied, or who were some of the directors or filmmakers that you studied or looked to gain insight or gain knowledge from during your process?
Spike. I grew up watching a lot of Spike films at a young
Gotcha.
age. I had no business watching some of that stuff, but I
Yeah,
know
we know.
in a black home, it's the TV's on.
No doubt.
You're gonna watch it. Um, John Singleton, may he rest in peace.
Sure.
Really, just really those two
Okay.
that I really kind of like looked at as far as being able to tell the African American story. Now, God does the rest. A lot,
Sure.
even with Year 33, I dreamed it. Um,
Mm.
I just dreamed it, and I wrote out, did a PowerPoint with the storyboards. I went and looked at other people's work on Instagram to see who I could call for the look that I wanted. And they were able to match my creativity. That's how I knew that it was meant for me to do.
Awesome. Awesome. So, you said that you uh, patterned yourself after Spike Lee and John Singleton. So, how would you describe your style of filmmaking?
My style of filmmaking would be more so thought provoking and a lot of exposing.
Okay.
Uh, like I was saying, Afro surrealism really deals with what's happening right now from an unconscious point of view. And when you look at something from an unconscious point of view, when you're muzzled and you're unable to really speak out, um, you have to do it in other ways. And that's kind of, I would say I'm more so exposing a lot of evil in the world. And that's one thing Spike said. And I actually got on his master class. He actually said that, writing is a way to really expose the evils of the world and to expose the corruption and just human behavior. And that is something I feel like God has led me to do, because as we look around, it's not getting any better.
Sure. No, absolutely. So, let's get into you kind of talked about it a little bit, but let's dig a little deeper into Year 33. You've the premise of it is super interesting. So, tell my audience, tell them what Gear 33 is about and what they can expect to see when they watch the film.
Well, one thing that I've gathered as I've been here for 33 years, like I said before, the image in the film of myself, because I am in the film, it mirrors the wilderness, of walking through the wilderness. And sometimes in America, that's what it feels like. You're walking in circles. You don't know which way to go. Um, you're going back and forth with God, trying to understand your purpose, trying to understand your reason.
Absolutely.
And then the light bulb goes off. What do I need to do to get out of this modern day slavery, this wilderness, this pain? What do I need to do? And based off of my faith, that is follow Christ, and that's mainly what the film is about. Of how many of us will go through life wandering. The,
Sure.
the film, of course, like I said, mimics Christ because I'm wearing the crown of thorns throughout the entire film. Um,
Wow.
but and it was very painful wearing.
I bet.
Yeah, and but it really it really depicts a lost soul, confused soul, and when you're like that, you have no choice but to either call on God and ask for some type of help,
Mhm.
or you're just going to continue to wander through life without purpose.
For sure. For sure. So, kind of talk to me about the actual process of filming. You talked about it a little bit in terms of how you were on a different location and how eerie it was. Walk me through the process. How long did it take you to shoot the film, and to edit it, and to now to get it to the point to where you're ready to release it?
I shot the film on my birthday. I plan on shooting a film every birthday, or whatever funding permits. Um,
Sure.
and it took me. We shot it the couple of days after my birthday on a Saturday. we were out there for a good 12 hours. And when we got to the second location, it poured down raining. And I was
Wow.
like, I can't come back out here. I'm not spending more money for makeup or anything like that. I have to get this shot done. So, I mean, when I tell you, we left Greenbelt, Maryland, and went to Ellicott City to get a few shots. And it poured down raining. I mean, I was sick. I was in the car waiting for it to stop.
Wow.
We actually looked at uh our phones, just hoping that
Checking the weather. Yeah.
I have to get these shots done.
Mhm.
And lo and behold, from prayer and just sitting and waiting, the sun came out. Of course, the grass and everything was wet, but the sun came out, and obviously, it wasn't just me praying, because we saw all these other people getting out of their vehicles to have photos done. So I just thought that was just so beautiful.
Wow.
God, he heard me, and it wasn't just me, because I saw all these families, different families that were, having photos done and everything out there.
That's awesome. So how many people did you have working on the film itself in terms of like crew and things like
Yes.
that?
The first young man, he's from Kid August Productions. He did the videography. His name is Banumi Abari, excuse me. And the editing was done by a young lady named Aisha Dennis, who works here in DC with Footprints Photos, and Daryl Todd. He actually did my promotion on photographs. The editing took no more than a month. The other young man that did the videography, it was taking him a little bit too long for me. So I ended up reaching out to someone else for her to do the editing. I saw her work, and it was right up my alley for what I wanted. He did complete the editing, so it's a completely different version from what I have now. And it just seemed a little bit too victimized for me. I said, no, I have to really get this point across. And I still have the original, but she really remixed it to where it really hits, along with the audio that I've had added to it.
Okay. Was there any music or any soundtrack work that was done on the film?
No soundtrack work. It's really just stockpile music, free music, royalty
Gotcha.
free music. Hmm.
Okay. Okay. So after someone has watched Year 33, what would you want them to come away with after watching the film?
I would really say just follow the teachings of Christ. Um, trust God, and know that He is there with you in every step of the way. And there's times where you will be in the wilderness. There's no way out of it. You're gonna be wandering. If you don't have the right direction, you're gonna be lost. Um, and you have to spiritually know that He's there with you, and you have to know that in your spirit that everything's going to be okay, because when you don't have that reassurance that that everything's going to be okay, it's not. You're going to
Mhm.
continue to wander. You're going to continue to just be what is the word, hopeless, and
Mm.
just living a life of mundane monotony, just walking around. You're
Sure.
not fulfilling purpose.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. So let me ask you this: was there any? This was a big project to undertake. It's really a huge project to undertake for to do something that you've never done before. This had to take like a really big leap of faith or a really big step of faith. Was there a moment, or was there something or a time where everything just like crystallized for you to let you know that it was time to do it?
I had a dream, and the dream
Okay.
was very unsettling. Um, I actually, I mean, it's relevant. The dream is still relevant, but unconsciously, it revealed to me what was going on amongst the Black community, and it just was very unsettling to see myself back in slavery. And
Hmm.
I'm in the dream looking around like, what is going on? And I see my mother in the
Wow.
dream, and I see, other people in the dream, and I'm in the mistress in the dream, the white woman in the dream says, um, now I know this isn't new to you. And no, she said, I know this is new to you, but it's not new to me. And I woke up and I was just like, what in the world? I got on my knees and I prayed. And each day I got a vision of how to move. Even when I was taping it, when he was shooting it, I just was somewhere else. I was absolutely somewhere else. And one thing that resonated with me, Harriet Tubman, she's from Maryland, and like I said, it was really eerie being out there walking, wandering in silence, and just it was a great experience, and it was almost therapy for me to really take that leap of faith and just shoot.
So I'm curious, like as while you were shooting and being in those environments, did you almost have like a stirring or pushing to kind of let you know that you were in the right place at the right time and that this was something that you were supposed to be doing?
The pushing probably was when I was. It's a part in the film where I'm walking on the straight and narrow. And that was when I kind of got the clarity, like, I'm not perfect. I'm not nowhere near it. And what I'm doing, I know is not for notoriety. I know that this is for God to free other people from whatever may be holding them captive. We can look at it as modern day slavery with a natural eye, but a lot of people are held captive by many different things. And, you just have to look up. And it's times where we doubt, when you see the film, you'll see the doubt in my face. You see the frustration. And that's kind of really when it kind of clicked, because I could, as I'm walking, it's like I'm almost doubting at the same time, like, why am I doing this? Like, what am I doing out here? Just shooting film.
Wow.
And, technically it's just like, what are you doing? But I had to really like keep that out my head and just keep going. And if with anything, when you're going to go do something with purpose, things happen. Like
Of course.
the backdrop fell down. I almost pushed my makeup artist in the river. It was just like she was fixing something, and the crown of thorns hit her in the face. It was just too much going on, and then like I said, it rained, and when it rained, I was like, if this rain does not stop, Lord, it ain't meant for me to do. And that rain stopped. When that rain stopped, I said,
wow.
Oh, yeah, when that rain, and I'm talking about, it rained for a good 45 minutes, and I was in that car sick. It's almost like when people play the lotto, that's literally, and you lose all, I'm like, I'm getting ready to lose all of my money because I don't have enough shots. And, and the film's only 3 minutes. So we got about 6 hours done at the other location, but the videographer wanted to go to Ellicott City. I was okay where I was at because that was the first location that I picked. And I knew nothing about this park that he wanted to go to. So when we got there, or on the way there, and that bottom fell out, I was so heartbroken. I was like, the money down the drain, And he was like, well, we can come back tomorrow. I said, I can't come back tomorrow. Because he was basically saying I had to have a disheveled look, So I was like, no, I can't. I'm not coming back tomorrow. I said, we're going to do this today. And I texted him while, texting and driving. I'm like, well, I'm about to pray because I'm not coming back out here. But I know if that did not work out, it won't meant for me to do. But God knows my heart. He knows my intentions, and he knows that, I plan on doing other things to expose.
Sure. So, you said the film is only 3 minutes. How many hours of footage did it take for you to film in order to even complete the project?
I think that had a lot to do with his experience, because he was honest with me that he hadn't done it in a long time. So it was good for him. And it's a learning experience for me. I never shot film. I've done a bunch of plays with my aunts in the church growing up, but I never did anything like this with no script. So it was 12 hours.
Wow.
12 hours, yeah. Well, I mean, give or take, with waiting for that rain to stop. So probably about 10 hours.
Okay. All right. Well, without giving away too much, what what other projects can we look forward to seeing from you in the future?
Like I was saying earlier, I can only speak from me being a Black woman, me being in America, and me being a Christian. And I plan on exposing all of that.
Okay. Okay. That sounds really interesting. So as we get ready to wrap up, tell my audience how they can watch the film, and then also tell them how they can connect to you on social media.
Okay. So I'm planning to release the film Sunday, Easter Sunday. The resurrection of Christ, as we
Of
know,
course.
the holiday.
Perfect timing. Yes.
Holiday. Yeah, I had no idea. My goal at first, my goal was to do it Mother's Day, but I said no. Let me do it Resurrection Sunday.
Absolutely.
So it will be on YouTube. My YouTube link is on my Instagram. My Instagram is JC Marie _271. And of course, my Facebook page is JC Marie Presents LLC. You can look it up. And so the link will be there. I'm also on TikTok. So the link is on TikTok. Like, I have to get this message out. I'm not an internet person. I really could care less about it. But
you got to use it to do what you need to do.
Yeah. You got to use it.
Part of the package.
It's part of the package, and it's so annoying. It's some weird people out here. And
100%.
Like, what in the world? But that's where I can be reached. That's where I can be found. And again, it will be on YouTube Easter Sunday. Okay,
great. So, all my audience, everybody that's watching, make sure you go to check out the film. It's a really interesting concept, and I'm looking forward to viewing it as well. So I'm not going to keep you any longer. I really appreciate a few minutes of your time, JC. I want to wish you the best with this film and all of your following projects and all of your endeavors. And anytime you want to come on and promote them, you're more than welcome to. And on behalf of the show, I want to thank you for being on the ANY Radio Show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And
absolutely.
I'm ready to do whatever y'all need me to do again.
For sure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up this episode of the ANY Radio Show. I want to thank my guest, JC Marie, for joining me. If you have any questions, comments, you would like to be a guest on the show, or you would like your products and services to be advertised, promoted on the show, or if you want your music to be featured on the show, send an email to kanmusicpub@gmail.com. Again, that's kanmusicpub@gmail.com. Make sure you subscribe to the Minds of Creativity Facebook and YouTube channel so you can get alerts when new episodes are on, and so you can check out other shows on the network. You can become a patron on my Patreon page, which is www.patreon.com/ANY KEbny, to get access to exclusive ad-free audio, behind-the-scenes video, and show merchandise. Or you can order show merchandise at the online store, which is ANY KEbny Radio Show.threadless.com. Again, that's ANY KEbny Radio Show.threadless.com. Shout out to all my patrons and those that have purchased show merchandise. Thank you so much for your support. You can also connect to me on social media at Coach_ANY KEbny on Twitter, TikTok, Clubhouse, and Instagram. And on my Facebook music page, ANY Music, which is spelled capital ANY, capital KE, lowercase b, lowercase n, and capital Y. So until next time, remember, be positive on purpose. See you next time.